Hello, and welcome to the ESO Zone Guide, where I go over the story, unique items, gear, achievements, and everything in each zone. Hope you enjoy. This episode, I will be going over Khenarthi's Roost, a small island off the coast of Elsewhere, mostly inhabited by Khajiit and Maormer. It is under a peace treaty of the Khajiit and Maormer, affecting the negotiations of the Aldmeri Dominion trying to include it in the war. There are two way shrines. The Khenarthi's Roost way shrine southwest of the Temple of the Crescent Moons, and the Mistral way shrine located in Mistral. There are 6 sky shards in Khenarthi's Roost, one in Mistral on the west side of town, one west of Mistral, one on the westmost side of the shipwrecks, one in the south behind the Temple of Crescent Moons, one in the south in Eagle Strand, and one in the east outside of the Temple of Morning Springs. There's one unique set to get on Khenarthi's Roost, the Armor of the Trainee. There are 10 unique items to get here. There is the Morning Bow, part of the Trainee set, the Broadhead Shield, a shield part of the Trainee set, the Queen's Own Cuirass, a heavy chest piece, part of the Trainee set, Storm Slave's Razor, a two-handed sword, part of the Trainee set, Gold Fleet's Beacon, a healing staff, Hazak's Hauberk, a medium chest piece, Inducer's Scalpel, a dagger, Root Splitter, a one-handed axe, Rat Splatter, a one-handed mace, and Sugar Jacket, a light chest piece. There are 10 antiquities to get on Khenarthi's Roost. There is the Ancestral High Elf Axe motif, lead available by Khenarthi's Roost treasure maps. Ancestral High Elf Belt motif, lead available by Khenarthi Roost treasure maps. Ancestral High Elf helmets, lead available by Khenarthi's Roost treasure maps. Ancestral High Elf staves, lead available by Khenarthi's Roost treasure maps. Khenarthi skooma pipe, available by default. Ancient fishing rods, a lead available by successfully excavating a Khenarthi skooma pipe. Pelagio's Training Blade, lead available by successfully excavating an ancient fishing rod. Sweet Khenarthi's Song Furniture Piece, lead available by harvesting clothing notes and Thieves' Guild Troves. Cat's Eye Prism Furniture Piece, lead available by harvesting enchanting nodes and Sigic portals. And Hecatome Tassets, one of 5 pieces needed for the Bloodlord's Tassets, with a lead found by beating bosses in the Imperial Sewers. There is 1 player house, 5 locales, and 9 points of interest on Khenarthi's Roost. The 1 player home is Moonworth House, costing either 50,000 gold, 2,200 crowns for the house unfurnished, and 2,800 crowns for the house furnished. The 5 locales are the Bulgus Hunting Camp, the Temple of the Crescent Moon, the Temple of the Two Moons Dance,
Knock the light from his eyes.
the Temple of the Dark Moon, and Raedthar's Solace. The 9 points of interest are Eagle Strand, Cat's Eye Quay, the Wind Catcher Temple Plantation, of the Morning Springs,
Poison.
the Shattered Shoals, Mistral, the Speckled Shell Plantation, Hazek's Hollow, and Laughing Moon's Plantation. If the vestige is part of the Aldmeri Dominion, they will awaken on Khenarthi's Roost. Waking up, the vestige is contacted by the Prophet.
As I feared, we arrived in different locations. I am in a city near the sea, in a land of eternal spring. The air smells of the ocean, and of markets and gardens. It matters not. You have awakened once again, and we must set you on your path. Days, weeks, I cannot tell. The voids between worlds disrupted all sense of time and space. I know only that you were deposited into the sea, and some charitable soul fished you out and brought you to dry land. I'm afraid you will have to decide that for yourself. I must focus on searching for a way to repay Lyris's bold sacrifice. I cannot simply abandon her to the wrath of Molag Bal. I cannot foresee that. Not yet. But we will meet again. There is still much we need to accomplish. Be wary, Vestige. Our very plane of existence is in peril. The threat of Molag Bal looms across all Tamriel, and chaos spreads in its shadow. Danger roams the land and will assume many forms. Do not let it catch you off guard. You must find your own path. But perhaps there is a reason for the place in which you find yourself. Explore, search for a cause to lend your hand. Join with others. You might even seek out those who rescued you from the sea. The choice is yours. Indeed, I sense that even now, there are good people near you who face grave danger. They need your assistance, should you be willing to give it. To thwart the will of Molag Bal, we must skirmish with evil wherever it rears its head. We do not face these troubled times alone. Many shall rise up to fight this tide of darkness. Wherever you go, you will encounter others who share your courage and valor. Help them if you can, and enlist their aid if you have need of it.
Once outside, the vestige is called upon by a Khajiit named Razumdar, starting the Storm on the Horizon quest.
Welcome to Khenarthi's Roost, friend. The hurricane must have been very disorienting. So many injured, confused. Keep your voice down. Try not to draw attention.
Razumdar is here on a mission of some delicacy. You are just what the Bandari ordered. Between your hands and Raz's good looks, we are certain to see this through.
First, a question. Where did you come from? If you landed 5 paces north, you'd have squashed a rat, slipped on its guts, and cracked your head on a signal drum. The whole island would have known of your arrival. So where did you come from, truly? A Daedric prince, you say? Raz has a nose for lies, but you seem clean as an ocean breeze. If anyone else asks you, where will you say you came from? Yes, lie with confidence. A straight face and a gleam in your eye. Well done. It is very good right now to fit in. Your sudden arrival, it does not fit in, you understand? Just a friendly Khajiit, privileged to see someone drop from nowhere and land in sea. Shame you cannot do that at will. You could make piles of coins, sell tickets.
After Razumdar explains how the vestige is useful, he leads them. After Razumdar explains how the vestige is useful, he leads the vestige After Razumdar explains how the vestige is useful, he leads the vestige to Commander Khenarthi, the current and new commander of the Aldmeri fleet on Khenarthi's Roost.
Glad you're up and about, recruit. I'm in need of a scout to head to Shattered Shoals. Most of our fleet foundered to the west, but we've had few survivors trickle in from that direction. We captured a sea viper spying on the camp. Those pirates never travel alone. Find out if they're around Shattered Shoals, and if so, what they're doing on this island. Of course, you should assist any shipwreck survivors you find. We must each do our part. Before you head to Shattered Shoals, speak with Eelsil. He just returned from exploring a nearby temple. That wizard claims to know something about everything, so he may have insight on how these sea vipers operate.
Eelsil is this way.
Right after, the vestige is brought to Eelsil, a mage with the Aldmeri Dominion.
Eelsil, this recruit wishes to speak with you.
Marvelous, isn't it? We'll have to construct a special room for the Morning Stone when we bring it back to the Mages Guild. I'm sorry, did you need something? Yes, the Temple of the Morning Springs is an old Khajiit ruin not far from here. We excavated the Morning Stone from one of the chambers. As you can see, its supply of water appears endless. What do you mean, pirates? In an ancient Khajiit temple? Preposterous! All we saw were the undead warriors that overran our camp. I have no idea. Actually, I have 12 ideas, but they're far less fascinating than the Morning Stone. Probably some sort of ancient curse. It usually is with these things. Arrogant sea elf pirates. To my recollection, they aren't known to raid Khenarthi's Roost. Oh, and they have a thing for snakes. But I'm sure we both have more important matters to attend. If you'd excuse me?
Razumdar asks the vestige to talk again one last time before heading out, either towards the Temple of Morning Springs or the Shattered Shoals.
There, you see? You fit in and no one will stop you from walking away. But as this one said, there are opportunities here for people that fall from the sky. Eelsil is most impressed with his newest bauble. But the undead are a threat to all of Khenarthi's Roost. If you want to, you could search the Temple of the Morning Springs, determine how to contain the dead there. Then the locals should see we came here as allies, not conquerors. Khenarthi told you how the hurricane dashed the fleet into Khenarthi's Roost. Now the sea vipers are picking at the bones of our ships. Strange, yes? You could scout the coast, as the commander said. Prove yourself to the soldiers. Oh, there's far less glamorous work to be done in Mistral, at the northern end of the island. Let's meet up there, after you've done what you decide to do. Until then, bright moons guide your steps.
Leaving Eagle's Strand, the vestige can head to the Temple of Morning Springs. Arriving at the temple, the vestige is approached by a Bosmer asking for help, starting the Tears of Two Moon quest.
Please, I need your help. My master's life is in danger. I'm part of an expedition from Eagle's Strand. While we explored the Temple of the Morning Springs, the dead began to rise. The others fled, but my master never emerged. Aurelian taught me to know when I should ask for help. Well, I'm asking. 2 magical wards seal the temple, marked by emblems of a scorpion and a spider. If you can keep the undead away while I disrupt the wards, we can search for Aurelian together. How about it? I have no doubt Aurelian can protect himself. But if he's trapped inside, we need to get him out. My master and I had little to do after the shipwreck. When the locals mentioned a temple where the fountains never run dry, we leapt at the chance to investigate. Eelsil insisted on leading, of course. Ah, so you've met him. My master calls him Eelkill. Something about an experiment gone wrong many years ago. The Morning Stone you saw came from this temple. Eelsil was barely able to remove it before the undead fell upon us. Aurelian thought it could be used to control the weather, perhaps prevent another hurricane. Eelsil disagreed, of course. He insisted on studying it further at Eagle's Strand.
After agreeing, the vestige is warned not to enter the temple by a skeleton.
Turn back. You aren't welcome here. I'm whatever I wish to be. I change bodies like high elves change clothes. Though the corpses in this temple limit my wardrobe. What does it matter to you? Why do you trespass? Ah, the name for my newest outfit. His flesh sags a bit, though the power in his bones reminds me of my youth. And the robes. I'd forgotten the feel of silk upon newly won flesh. Set foot in this temple and see for yourself. Such commendable posture. I could definitely wear you in the autumn. As for Rorelian, he's fit for display under full moons all new. I'm tired of this. Leave or die. It matters not.
Afterwards, the vestige continues to disable the scorpion and spider wards.
Scorpion's poison courses through its
Watch for
prey.
undead. I'll disrupt the ward.
Spider weaves the web around
This
its
ward won't keep us
prey.
out for long.
After the vestige heads into the catacombs and must solve a puzzle, then is asked to talk for a moment.
Barrier is down. Oh, but before we proceed, I need to speak with you. When we entered the temple, that skeleton made it sound as though Rorelian was in grave danger. I won't let vague threats keep us from my master. But Rorelian is too important to lose. Perhaps we should think before we act. The Dominion relies on Rorelian for his sound judgment. He's taught countless students the ways of Magicka, including some of the Queen's own advisors. His role in the invasion is paramount for our future success. If anything were to happen to him... Thank you. We should keep moving.
Continuing, the vestige runs into a possessed Uldor. The vestige is tasked with protecting Gathwin while she destroys the 4 bone piles used for the summoning ritual.
Ears that large and you still don't listen. Perhaps you need a few alterations. There was a time when the sound of Uldor's voice commanded the terror of thousands. Why, I'm Uldor. I see your dominion teaches you nothing of my people. I shouldn't bemoan your ignorance. You fools ended centuries of captivity when you removed the Morning Stone. Never mind that accursed blue rock. I'm about to restore my wardrobe to its full glory. Behold this Rorelian fellow. Such vibrancy. I could use more like him, but one must be willing to run through a bolt of silk for the finest coat. Oh, I believe I'll keep him. At least until my summoning ritual wears him through. You see, undead are also beige. But I'm willing to adorn myself with hundreds of tawdry outfits in order to collect the more colorful garb at Eagle Strand. Then drown in a sea of bones.
Leave Aurelian for now. We have to disrupt the summoning ritual. I'll destroy the bone piles if you keep the undead at bay.
After stopping the ritual, Uldor runs into a crypt followed by the vestige. After finding Rurelian, he beats Uldor's possession and talks to the vestige.
Despite all my knowledge, Uldor's influence over me was absolute. I'd be little more than a puppet without your timely intervention. Only my pride. But we have a more pressing matter. As Uldor sensed my thoughts, I could sense his. He plans to overwhelm and enslave Khenarthi's Roost with an undead horde by the next dawn! Uldor was a powerful Malmo wizard who learned to separate his spirit from his body, even in death. He can wear hundreds of mindless forms at a time. Thankfully, I know his weakness. The Morning Stone's endless water supply tied Uldor's spirit to his body. When Eilsil removed the Morning Stone from the temple, he set Uldor free. Once again, Eilsil's sloppy methods nearly caused the death of me. These gems focus the Morning Stone's power. Uldor had me remove them from his tomb. I propose Gathwin recovers the Morning Stone from Eagle's Strand. Meanwhile, we restore Uldor's prison. Simple enough. The centerpiece of this old Khajiit temple. After Uldor's reign of terror, the Sea Elves gave it to the Khajiit so it would become the key to his prison. No, which is why we must be the ones to enter the tomb. After he saw you through my eyes, he seemed convinced that to wear you would destroy him. For some reason, he feared you. No, we must enter the tomb together. Though he can't wear you, he could quite easily obliterate you with his magic. Only by splitting his attention can we hope to defeat him.
After being told how to seal Uldor, the Vestige must then choose who to seal, either Rurelian or Gathwin to seal away.
Aurelian's plan is to let Uldor possess him. They'll both be sealed in the tomb forever. But it doesn't need to be this way. Seal me inside. Aurelian is too important for the Dominion to lose. Besides, we both saw how the summoning ritual weakened my master. Please, help me convince Aurelian. I will gladly seal myself in the tomb to spare my master. Uldor is a threat to all on this island.
We should hurry. Uldor won't be trapped for long. That's madness. I've experienced so many summers. My greatest accomplishment was watching Gathwin blossom into someone who far surpassed my own deeds. No, she must recover the Morning Stone. You and I should confront Uldor.
While Uldor claims either Rurelian or Gathwin, the Vestige places the Tears of Two Moons on the 4 pedestals and seals away Uldor.
I've reconsidered what our combined power can do, Uldor. I willingly give myself over.
I knew such power would tempt you. Very well.
Hurry! Place the Tears of the Two Moons in the pedestals!
Wretched fool! I'll turn your friend to my soiled attire. You worthless rag! This tomb can't hold me forever.
Go quickly. I feel Uldor's weakness fade. Hurry, tell Gathwin of the plan's success. But don't mourn for me, friend. I earned a useful fate. Few can say the same. Uldor will sustain me. Better a living form than a dusty old skeleton, I suppose. I'd hoped for more time to meditate, but this wasn't what I had in mind. Goodbye, my friend. You're what all in the Dominion should aspire to be.
Finishing the quest, the Vestige is granted the unique bow, Morning Bow, a weapon part of the Trainee set.
It's done, isn't it? Aurelian is sealed inside with that monster. Forgive me. Uldor couldn't be allowed to roam free. Something had to be done, and you had the strength to see what I could not. I'll ensure the Morning Stone remains guarded at all times. I should make a full report so the Dominion understands the danger of Uldor's capabilities. No good comes from dwelling on the past. Aurelian lives, which means there's hope. He's a great man. A good man. I don't care how long it takes. I'll find a way to free him from that monster. Forgive me. You did so much to help a stranger. I won't forget. I can open a portal to the temple courtyard if you wish. There you go. Hurry, it won't remain open for long.
The Vestige also heads to the Shattered Shoals. Once arriving, the Vestige runs into a Bosmer calling for her lost crew. Once talked to, the Vestige starts to cast a drift quest.
You there. Have you seen my squad? We were all on a little Alkosh, part of the Dominion fleet sailing for Khenarthis Roost. Then a hurricane blew up out of nowhere. Sails tore, hulls cracked, and we were thrown into the ocean. I ended up here. I can't find the rest of my squad. I thought I heard one of them calling out, but the ocean twists up sounds. If they're wounded or pinned down, could you keep an eye out for my soldiers? They answer to Edalus, Onglon, and Nistel. 2 of us can cover more ground. I'm sure my squad made it to shore alive. Dominion Marines constantly defy the sea's attempts to drown us. The hurricanes are another matter. I fear my squad is banged up worse than I am. Our ship's hold was packed full of an old Bosmer healing remedy. The labels say torchbug treacle, but Marines call it glow juice. The wreck scattered bottles across the beach must be what brought out the aelids. Squat creatures made of teeth, claws, and endless hunger. I've heard their cries up and down the beach since I came to. Their sweet tooth is bigger than their walnut brains. I saw one of the stupid things swallow a whole bottle of glow juice. Good luck. Do me a favor. If you find them before I do, tell them the ocean hasn't killed me yet.
Heading onto the beach, the Vestige searches for injured Marines, finding 3 of them.
Who are you? Were you part of the fleet? Alive? Good. That's good. Waves smashed me against the ship. Cracked a few ribs. Not the best feeling. Tastes like sandals boiled in mint perfume. But if it knits my ribs, I'll drink the whole bottle. Good. I'll find Sergeant Firion. Go. Get them back safe.
I lost a lot of friends in that storm. Give me some good news. I saw her swept overboard in that damn storm. Held on to the rigging long as I could, but it tore the skin off my palms. If I can't hold a weapon, I'm useless to my squad. Do you have any bandages? I lost my kit to the sea. Blow juice? Used to think this stuff was only good for practical jokes on snowy days. Once I can heft Spleen Shanker, I'll push through the beach and find Sergeant Firion. How about you? Hope they appreciate their good fortune when you find them. I can get inland after I rest. Fight with purpose.
Bless Ifra. I'm glad you came by. Have you seen any other Marines along the beach? She's alive. I suppose that's some luck amidst all this wreckage. Can't say the same for my leg. If I don't put too much weight on it, I can manage a good hobble. Glow juice? By the gods, it just might. Soon as I can stand on my own, I'll head inland. Lieutenant Gellin dragged me out of the water. He'll want to know Sergeant Firion and the rest of the squad are all right. I think he said something about looking for shelter in a nearby cave, but I was still coughing up sand.
After finding the last one, the Vestige heads into the cave. After finding the lieutenant dead, the Vestige reports to the sergeant.
Turns out my squad were the ones who found me. Ever consider a career as a Dominion Marine? You'd make quite a scout. My squad said you were looking for Lieutenant Gellin. Have you found him? What do you mean? First, a hurricane blows out of nowhere and destroys our fleet. Then, an able-bodied Dominion Marine is captured and tortured to death? What else was in that cave? Some kind of sacrifice? This is too big for my squad to handle. We need reinforcements. Nistel spotted a beached ship nearby. It looks intact, and she spotted Dominion sailors aboard. We need to combine our forces and find who murdered Lieutenant Gellin. My squad and I need to pull his body out of that damn cave. Would you warn the sailors on that beached ship? They need to know it's not safe to wander around. Wait, take this. I found some glow juice while I was looking for my squad, but they're on the mend. You'll get used to the taste. We'll be along shortly. Watch yourself.
Heading to the Aldmeri ship, the Vestige can talk to the quartermaster, Oblon and Khajiit.
You want a slick-arsed sea viper or a cabbage-mouthed castaway? State your business with the crew of the Prowler. The hurricane killed hundreds of Marines. Why does it matter if one of them died in the cave? Oh. Well, the Prowler is like a hen in a wolf den until she's seaworthy again. Maybe your Marines can prove they're more than two-legged cargo and shiny armor. If they pitch in, I'll consider reinforcements. They up for it? Or are they all talk? And I'm sure they'll be as useful as they were in the hurricane. Should they care to prove otherwise, they're welcome to do actual work patching leaks in the Prowler's hold. Maybe they can locate a replacement helmsman's wheel in all this wreckage.
The Vestige can then talk to the Marines and send them to find the Sunsider, patch the holes, and replace the headsman wheel, or do it themselves afterwards, returning to the quartermaster.
That was fast. Alright, there's room on the Prowler for your Marine friends, as long as they work for their meals. I said I'd consider it. Captain Jimala is the only one who can make that call. Something you'll want to hear. You just made the Prowler seaworthy, and Captain Jimala always pays her debts. Go talk to her. She only bites if you give her good reason.
Due to your efforts, the Prowler is free to sail once the tide comes in. Those Marines did their part as well. I have no reinforcements, but I offer something better. I know who's killing the Dominion soldiers, and I know how to stop it. Our lookout watched the Sea Vipers drag a Dominion Marine into a cave. Later, he saw your friends remove the Marine's body. If we weren't so short-handed, I'd have ordered his rescue, but 3 of my own crew were missing. Before we understood the danger, I sent my crew to scavenge among the shoals so we might repair the Prowler. We thought they disappeared, but one just returned, and she tells a harrowing tale. The Sea Vipers happened. Now there's a new storm brewing, and I fear they're the cause of it. Mustangui recovers below. Hear what she has to say for yourself.
The Sea Vipers are insane! They're trying to create another hurricane! Sir Verkvild and I were scavenging for a replacement helmsman's wheel when the Sea Vipers ambushed us. They brought us to the island with the beached Dominion flagship. They'd done things there. Terrible things. Those filthy Maormer dragged my mates up and tied them to these serpent-shaped statues. Then they started chanting, and lightning surrounded them. That's when the storm began to form around the island. Yes, I'm sure of it. It was a terrible sight. The Sea Vipers were so caught up in the ritual, I slipped free. I tried to grab Sir, but the lightning held him fast. Then one of the Sea Vipers yanked at him. I saw the Maormer's wrist glow. The Maormer wore lodestones on their wrists. It let them ignore those lightning bombs, but I couldn't find any more, so I jumped off the ship and swam for it. Please, don't let them sacrifice my crewmates.
Heading towards the described island, the Vestige has to kill Sea Drake to acquire a lodestone. After recovering the lodestone, the Vestige must defeat a Maormer named Jyklos. The Vestige frees the 2 prisoners and stops the ritual.
Those Sea Vipers are insane!
Returning to Captain Jamilia, The vestige is thanked and given the unique item, the Broadhead Shield, a shield part of the Trainee set.
Sur and Verkvild returned just after the skies cleared up. They're a bit damp, but otherwise all right. My lookout says I have you to thank. Then we'll finish repairs and shove off at high tide. Oh, your marine friends fended off sea vipers while you rescued my crew. They're welcome aboard, as long as they want. Perhaps we'll see you at Mistral. You'll always have a place on the Prowler.
After finishing both Tears of Two Moons and Cast Adrift, the vestige heads to Mistral to meet with the Razumdar, studying the quest, The Peril of Diplomacy, and receives a unique item, the Gold Fleet's Beacon, a unique healing staff.
This one has heard reports. You've kept busy. Good. You fit in now more than ever. How did things go? Clearly, you were meant to help us out. Joan and Jode have a sense of humor, yes? And of course, Raz thinks discretion deserves a reward. Keep your wits about you, my new friend. Mistral's houses cast deep shadows, and vipers lurk in the tall grass. Mistral is the jewel of the southern seas, a free port with trade ties to half of Tamriel. Ambassadors from the Dominion arrived weeks ago to negotiate its admission into the Alliance. Unfortunately, things have not gone smoothly. Khenarthis Roost has an old treaty with the Maumar. They claim the Dominion fleet intended to invade their home waters. It's a sticking point in the negotiations. The Sylvanar could use some help. Find him, give him this token. He'll know you are a friend. Without Mistral's support, the Dominion will have precious little defense on its southern coasts. But we are not here to conquer anyone. The Sylvanar knows this. He is in the Chancery, seeking a peaceful resolution here. Razumdar is just a simple Khajiit. He seeks the best for all the people of Tamriel. Also, a saddle that won't pinch the tail. One day. He is the voice and spirit of the Wood Elves. They say he is, was, and will be their greatest leader, whatever that means. This one knows him as an unrivaled diplomat. He is also the Dominion's best hope of resolving this matter peacefully.
The vestige heads into the treasury and runs into the Vice-Reeve Paladil outside.
Lorcan, take them all. Why did the Sylvanar negotiate with these filthy Maumar?
Those pirates are a stick in the High Elf eye. They capture our merchant ships and raid our settlements. If I had any say, we'd negotiate with a sword at their throats.
Not as long as the Sylvanar confuses diplomacy with capitulation.
He's inside with the rest of them, pretending this won't end in bloodshed. Go, see this farce for yourself.
Heading inside, the vestige can talk to the Sylvanar.
Your pardon, friend. The Dominion's arrival on Khenarthis Roost has upset the locals. It falls on me to smooth the waters. Please, help yourself to food or drink. I'm happy to speak with you once this matter is settled. Most unexpected. It seems we have a mutual friend. May I ask, what brings you to Mistral? Then perhaps you can advise me on a small matter. The Maumar have a treaty with Khenarthis Roost. This is nothing to fear. A treaty is something I can work with. Yet neither Ambassador Ulondil nor Headwoman Harani will produce a copy. Indeed, why not? It would be indecorous to suggest the treaty is anything but actual and sound, yet I fear it won't present itself without a more active line of inquiry. Would you be my voice in this, with Ambassador Ulondil and Headwoman Harani? Exactly. A chorus of requests may succeed in carrying the tune. Harani in particular seems eager to see this resolved, though I fear the Dominion presence binds her hands. But I'll leave you to it.
We upheld our treaty with the people of Khenarthis Roost for generations, and this is how they repay our kindness? We will not allow High Elf thieves to gain a foothold in our territorial waters. By all rights, this is our island. Harani's people occupy it with our blessing. If she breaks the treaty, so breaks our truce. We'll take back our island, and the Khajiit will pay the price. We keep a copy on an island far from here. I see no reason to send for it. I won't allow High Elf wharf-rats another chance to take our rightful lands. Why don't you bother Harani for her copy?
It's hard to keep track of the new faces since the hurricane, but I don't believe we've met. Welcome to Mistral. May your stay here be full of warm winds and soft sand. And I told him the mere act of doing so would complicate matters with our longtime Maormer allies. They take great offense to the Dominion's claims upon our island. Look around you. What great armies do you see? Our survival depends on knowing when to fight and when to please. The treaty brought us prosperity for generations. I will not be the one to break it.
After talking to Ambassador Ulandil and headwoman Harani, the vestige returns to the Sylvanar.
Any luck securing a copy of the treaty? Then there's little chance for compromise. I'll call a break in formal talks until everyone calms their nerves. You understand the stakes, yes? It's why I ask you to take a more active role in locating the treaty. I don't do so lightly. I can't allow the Dominion's first act on Khenarthi's Roost to be one of conquest. I understand our mutual friend prefers the rum served at a nearby tavern. Perhaps he would have ideas on securing a copy of the treaty. It's a name, a title, and our holy city. Quite an honor to carry around such an important word, and the occasional burden in its confusion of outsiders. Not even the Green Lady calls me by my given name. Edelorn doesn't roll off the tongue, I suppose. As Sylvanar, seems like it's been such a short while, but the wrinkles on my face tell me differently. Or did you mean as Dominion Envoy? I've taken on diplomatic tasks for our fledgling alliance since its inception, so not very long at all. A freshly grown fruit, still without blemish. On behalf of the Bosmer people, it's my goal to keep it that way. If you speak with the Green Lady, don't mistake her manner as distaste for the Dominion. She simply misses our home of Valenwood. She sustains me, and I her. Together, we are the aspirations of the Bosmer people given form. Put simply, she is the love of my life. Also, she grows ill-humoured when I gush about her within earshot. I'd best say no more.
Returning to Rezumdar, he tells the vestige a plan.
Wary.
You think this one drinks on the job? Good. Then so will everyone else. What is the word, my new friend? Ulandil certainly won't. His viper tongue is sharp. But Harani can't because her copy was stolen. It only takes 3 drinks to loosen the tongue of the Chancery clerk, if you were curious. A good question. Raz answers it with an interesting bit of trivia. Ulandil posted a guard at his quarters the day of the theft. His subtlety is rivaled only by his pleasant personality. Oh, and it's 5 drinks for embassy staff. 6 puts them out. Someone needs to slip into Marmor Embassy, find a way past the guard, and rifle through Ulandil's private quarters. Oh, and do it without bloodshed that could provoke war with the Marmor. In case he was not clear, Raz is talking about you. The pragmatist in this one says it's because you have no firm connection to the Dominion. The optimist says it's because you have proven yourself more than capable already. When you have the treaty, meet both of us at the bridge.
After going to the embassy, the vestige must write a fake letter to a guard to get the treaty from the Maormer and give it to Rezumdar.
Are you lost? Ambassador Ulandil's quarters aren't open for visitors. None of your business. Go bother the clerk. He doesn't know when to shut up either. Are you lost? Ambassador Ulandil's quarters aren't open for visitors. What? Give it here! She wants to meet me? Now? Out of my way!
The spring in your step. Did you know a sense of accomplishment can alter one's stride? You'll learn to notice it in others. The Sylvanar is certainly being watched by the Maumar. You should inform him the treaty is safe. He will know what to do next. The Sylvanar and the Green Lady are being put up in the Armorer's home. This one recommends you knock before entering. Green Lady gets jumpy at silent approach. At a quick glance, there are holes in the treaty. When the Sylvanar worries at them, he'll tear a hole in the Malmer's side. The treaty, of course. Not Ambassador Ulandil, though that would be funny.
After being sent to the Sylvanar, the vestige is stopped by the Green Lady.
The Sylvanar's inside resting. You have 5 minutes.
After the vestige is granted permission, the Sylvanar is found dead.
Time for you to leave. No! No! You found him like this? What did you see? Answer me! Then you know nothing. 1,000 curses on this wretched island. They've taken my beloved. None who'll survive the day. I am the unerring bolt. Once loosed, I cannot stop till I pierce my quarry's eye. Hirani knows her own city. If she won't tell you who did this, I'll shorten her tale until she does. Now go! Go! Not again. Please. I understand what the Sylvanar desires, but I already told you. We cannot provide him with our copy of the treaty. Did? But he was just here. What happened? How awful. Who would harm such a peaceful creature? My guards saw nothing. We doubled the watch to ensure safety. I cannot abide the Sylvanar's murder in my town. I'll shut down the port if I have to. None sets sail until his killer is brought to justice. Of course. I hereby declare you a deputy of the Mistral Guard. No door shall be barred to you. On my desk, you will find the most recent reports from the Mistral Guard. You are welcome to review them for any inconsistencies that could lead to the killer's capture.
The Sylvanar murdered?
The vestige is then to investigate a warehouse?
No one here. Perfect. As good a place as any. If that clerk has any sense, he'll find it.
An apothecary? In a mariner ship.
Get off my ship before I throw you off! And I need a new rigging and a serving wench. Too bad for us both. Now get off my deck before I throw you off!
After all three, the vestige returns to Rosendar and gives him all pieces of the evidence.
Killing the Sylvanar was foolish. The Green Lady and the Sylvanar shared a life bond. She has little time to avenge him before she too will die, and the Green Lady is a most dangerous creature. But then, you have that spring in your stride again. What have you learned? The Maumar planned something, but what? Wait. The apothecary sold Daedra blood in these specific amounts? That would explain the strange liquid upon the... Oh no. Right, this is a sample of the vile cloud from around the Sylvanar's body. Bring it to the Green Lady. Tell her it killed her beloved. As for the rest, Harani will see what you found. We must move like Khenarthi herself is at our backs.
Razmdar quickly sends the vestige to the Green Lady.
The killer will share the pain my beloved's death has wrought. Hand down the throat, a kiss for my wrist. Hand on the lungs, a kiss for my arms. Grasp, tear, yank, and one last kiss for the killer's own heart. Now, what have you found? No poison in all of Tamriel could harm my beloved. But this scent was on his body. Why is it out here as well? I can see it, leading away into the heart of this wretched city. You're blind to it, easily remedied. Follow if you can.
With the vestige following the scent and the Green Lady, they found a Marmor doing a ritual.
Covered my tracks. Couldn't have found me.
I followed his orders. Daedric poison for the wood elf and his mate. I followed his orders. Ulandil, he said they could stop the Tempest. Had to be removed.
I've heard enough.
His orders. Had to follow his orders.
There. You did what you had to. As did I.
The vestige then confronts Ulandil.
Ah, the errant deputy. I was just informing headwoman Harani of her apothecary's connections to the High Elves of Somerset Isle. Once the torture begins, we'll learn why the Dominion killed their own diplomat. My what? You mean the apothecary? I assure you, he was never in my employ. Oh, well done. It doesn't matter now. The Green Lummox and her idiot husband lie dead. There's nothing you can do to stop us. You're lying. She must be dead, or else she'd have come for me. She's coming for me, isn't she? I'm a duly appointed ambassador of the Maormer people. The grounds of the embassy are sacrosanct, according to our treaty. The Tempest is coming. You cannot stop it.
This is madness. There has been enough death in this city. And soon, his heart. This does not excuse mindless slaughter. We are better than our enemies. You must apprehend him. Don't let the Green Lady cut him down like an animal. We must learn what the Maormer plan for Khenarthi's Roost. I trust you'll do what's best for my people. Now I must apologize to Vicereeve Peladil. Whatever the Dominion needs, we will provide.
Following Ulandil and the Green Lady, the vestige can either let the Green Lady get her revenge, or talk her into letting him be arrested.
Move, unless you don't mind the spatter. I'll keep him alive for a time. He won't starve. His limbs have so much flesh to sustain him. Go tell Harani the Maormer is dead. Leave me to my work. Exactly. And I'll have the blood that's due. What does this creature's life matter to you anyway?
After choosing, the vestige talks to headwoman Harani and receives a unique item, the Queen's Own Cuirass.
We've taken Ulandil into custody thanks to your quick action. No treaty will keep him from proper justice. I understand. I am certain she'll find another way to mourn her husband. I asked Ulandil what he meant about the Tempest. After what that Green Lady did to him, it is difficult for him to focus. But what he did say isn't good at all. The Maormer have some ships waiting offshore. Ulandil's people signaled them before the Green Lady arrived. Some sort of invasion force. With the Dominion's help, perhaps we can fortify the town. That alone may save many lives. I signed a new treaty moments ago. Vicereeve Peladil assured me the Dominion will protect our little island. It's a new beginning for Khenarthi's Roost. We will prosper or fall together.
After talking to Harani, the Vestige is approached by a Khajiit named Zari, starting the Tempest Unleashed quest.
You! Yes, you! Commander Khenarthi needs you immediately. The Malmer attacked Katsai Key from the sea. Commander Khenarthi holds the line at the docks. She needs help stopping the Malmer before they push into Mistral. Zairi will find more to help. Be swift, Slowpaws.
You there! The Marmor attacked Katsai Key with their Sea Viper forces. We need every able body for the rescue effort. Huh! A counterattack? I'd settle for an organized defense. Our forces are scattered too thin. If we can't hold the gates, Mistral will fall to the Marmor. I'll coordinate Dominion forces from here, but I can't lock down this gate until the survivors clear out of the market. Send them my way. We need everyone able to defend Mistral on this side of the wall.
After talking to Commander Khenarthi, the Vestige checks on a few survivors from the attack.
Snakes! Giant
Those
snakes!
Malma pirates came from the water. They're all over Katsai Key. Sea vipers happened. One must have struck me on the head. When I woke, a sea viper was carving strange runes on my bodyguard's skin. I hit that awful pirate with a broken spar and we ran. No, we can still move. We'll head to Mistral if it's safe there. By the 8, it's inspiring to see Dominion soldiers. Maybe Sergeant Firion can pull off her counterattack. The Marine by the gate to Katsai Key plans to strike back at the Sea Vipers. I'm sure she can tell you the details. We'll get moving. Gods grant you strength.
We can't let those Marmor pirates reach Mistral. They'll butcher our families. I saw great serpents emerge from the waters. Those Sea Viper cowards made them snap at everyone in striking distance. No. When I saw my neighbors fall, I ran. What kind of Khajiit am I? You were with Dominion, yes? Your Sergeant Firion plans to strike back. Give those pirate cowards a trouncing. I'll do no such thing. If any of those Sea Vipers shows a face on this side of the gate, I'll claw it off myself.
After reaching the gate, the Vestige talks to Sergeant Firion, and can then choose who to bring, either Firion or the survivor of the Tears of Two Moons quest.
What are you doing here? It doesn't matter. If you're in the mood to cave in some Sea Viper skulls, I don't really care. You feel that cold air rushing off the sea? Just like it was before the hurricane. We can't wait to cut off the snake's head. We are the Dominion counterattack. I sent my squad to scout Katsai Key. If they haven't learned what the Sea Viper's plan, we can poke around until we figure out what needs chopping. And don't worry, your wizard friend can seal the gate behind us. I'll hold the gate, if you think you'll have need for a wizard. Or you could bring a Dominion Marine. Up to you. Then let's fillet these fish elf bastards.
The Vestige and their companion then search for the plans of the Marmor attack.
Hey, squad got separated. Nistel and I found Onglorn. They hurt him bad. Sea Vipers carved runes in his chest. I grabbed him. Nistel held them off. Hunting Sea Vipers. If you see her, tell her Onglorn will be alright.
You've done your part. Get back to Mistral when you... Oh, Nistel.
A ringing head is bad, but when it remains somewhat head-shaped, that is good, yes? I was in the caves. working when I heard a strange howling. Then warriors came out of nowhere and struck without mercy. Sea vipers, Mora pirates. We paid protection through the month and let them put those strange totems in our cave. They've never been in the skooma trade. I meant moon sugar. Hit my head, you see. Our deaths, I suppose? After they killed enough of us, they left the rest of us alone. They knew we wouldn't fight back. They only paid attention to those totems. Well, until they collapsed the cave entrance. Some high elf wizard tried to get in, so they collapsed it. I dove outside. Lucky me. The wizard tried to tell me something, but I couldn't hear him at all. He stuffed this paper in my hands and walked off. Here. What's that? My ears were ringing. Would you mind repeating the obvious? Wait, don't think me ungrateful. The wizard was looking for another way into the caves. I heard rumors of a secret door by the cliffs, but I never saw it myself.
Heading into the mines, the Vestige finds ESO.
These totems seem to harness a combination of wind and spirit. I wonder if I can... Excuse me, do you mind? Indeed. I suppose that's optimal. These sea viper rituals are barbaric, but quite effective. The hurricane they summoned to dash our fleet against Khenarthi's Roost? That's nothing compared to their current efforts. You clearly haven't studied the fundamentals of blood sacrifice. You see, these serpent-shaped statues, they're storm totems. They collect spirit energies from rune-marked subjects and channel it, like water through a funnel. Exactly the right question. It seems the sea vipers use a specialized lodestone to block the channel. Approach an active storm totem, hold forth the lodestone, and harmlessly siphon the energy away. You should see for yourself. Completely. Go ahead, don't be shy. It's not as though the storm totem's energies will cascade throughout your body until you're nothing but a lifeless, smoking husk. But do avoid standing in the puddles, would you? Phenomenal. I knew proximity was the key. And look at you, not even a hint of electrocution. You have the principle. Now to apply it to the other storm totems before... well, best not to worry about that. No, I really shouldn't worry you. I can't say for certain. It's one of two things, neither of which is good for anyone on this island. You don't stoop to blood sacrifice unless you need a lot of energy very quickly. And, well, to release it, just as quickly. Listen. You handle the storm totems. I'll determine how to best counteract the sea viper blood ritual without destroying Mistral. Does that seem equitable? The only certainty is the lack of time. You should hurry.
The Vestige then heads off to stop the 5 storm totems, afterwards being contacted again by ESO.
The wizard seems agitated.
Exit. I know how to stop the Marma. I know what they're planning. Through my Sigil projection, I observed an old ritual site north of Mistral. The Sea Vipers summoned a powerful creature known as a Storm Atronach. They're funneling all that energy into their bound Storm Slave. The creature can only hold so much energy before it discorporates. All the energy will wash over Khenarthi's Roost, killing anything it touches. Except for the thunderbugs, of course. Oh, and the mountain north of Mistral will shatter, leaving no trace of the town. Ah, there's the genius of their plan. How do you bind a creature made of storm energies? With the wind itself! 3 ritual horns trap Storm Slave, but the lodestone now has enough storm energy to counteract the false winds. Elegant, yes? It will shed its corporeal form and safely release its stored energy. By safely, I mean in relation to Khenarthi's Roost. I recommend moving a fair distance away from Storm Slave when this happens. Perhaps keeping solid rock between it and yourself? You'll have no trouble. But in the event you do, I've opened a portal at a distance of 1 league from Khenarthi's Roost. There I'll tread water in the open sea until I've observed your success. Merely a precaution. I have every confidence.
After exiting, the Vestige must stop 3 horns fighting a mini-boss at each.
So we stop the ritual or die?
Children of the sea, your bonds cannot hold the tempest.
After stopping each horn, Razumdar appears to guide the Vestige out.
Come! You must leave this place! Follow me!
After fleeing, the Vestige talks to Razumdar and is given the unique item Storm Slave's Razor.
My friend, to escape death so triumphantly is constant thrill, yes? Not so thrilling for the Maumar, of course. The Maumar are fled or dead thanks to your efforts. Khenarthi's Roost is safe and voluntarily a part of the Aldmeri Dominion. So if you must know, Razumdar keeps an eye on promising people. If Raz had known you would do so well, he would have scrounged you a nicer reward. Apologies. The Mistral Armory is not what it once was. The Maumar are like drunken uncle. Chase them off, and they always come back. Next time, Khenarthi will be waiting for them. Problem is, there are places that will not be so prepared. If the Vipers are here in numbers strong enough to assault Khenarthi, all of the southern seas are in danger. The Queen is in Oridon right now, beginning a royal visit. Raz would ask you to head to Volkelgard and report to Watch Captain Astanya. Astanya can pass word to Her Majesty. Perhaps you can catch a ride on the Prowler. Raz her Jimila plans to set sail. He suspects she may owe you a favor. Of course. After all you have done for us here, it would be rude of Raz to say no. This one is a simple Khajiit, like he said when we first met. He resolves issues as they come up. He acts in the best interest of the Dominion and the Queen. Oh, Raz would not be surprised. You have already proven yourself a competent sword. Simple Khajiit like this one have a tendency to need competent people like you. Astanya's the lovely watch captain of the Volkelgard Watch. Raz has shared more than one drink with the captain, and more than one fight. She's getting a bit grouchy now that she's tied to one port, but she should set you aright. Very tall elves and very pretty shores. Oridon is the most worldly part of the Somerset Isles, and still many of the High Elves consider it a sanctuary away from the rest of the world. This one thinks they are kidding themselves.
Finishing on Khenarthi's Roost, the Vestige heads to the dock and sails to Oridon. There are 5 side quests to do on Khenarthi's Roost. There is Moonsugar Medicament, where the Vestige finds a Khajiit hiding near a cave.
Have you seen Gary? He's missing. He is this one's son. When Gary's father succumbed to skooma, he swore to take vengeance upon those responsible. Smugglers and skooma peddlers called Cross-Tree Bandits. Sulana saw her son captured by bandits and brought to Hazak's Hollow. This one tried to free him, but was driven away. Perhaps you will have better luck. Search Hazak's Hollow. There must be some sign of Kari. A vile skooma peddler. Hazak destroys families and brings great warriors low with his filth. Search Hazak, a vile skooma peddler. Gary hasn't learned that fear and hatred cloud judgment. Zulana said he would be foolish to seek revenge, but he's a boy, and they have more important things to do than listen to their mothers, huh? He hurt his back in a terrible accident. He took skooma to relieve the pain, and it came to both sustain and enslave him. After years of its youth, he withered to a shell of his former self.
After heading to the cave, the Vestige can find Kari tied up in the back.
Begone, bandit. I'll never join Hazak. Mother sent you? It is good she can't see me trussed up like a sheep. The bandits were more challenging than I expected. She could have killed a few when she scouted the cave, but no, I must always be tested. You thought her a poor mewling widow? Pah! Mother is not entirely what she seems. She warned me to wait and watch before approaching Hazak's Hollow. I have much to learn. I sought to avenge my father's memory, but was captured by bandits. Mother saw my capture and sent you here to assist. Next, you untie me and we kill Hazak for his crimes. Simple, you see? Then when you free me, I'll fight Hazak alone and will likely die. Hazak will poison more families with skooma, another will swear revenge, be captured by bandits, and wait for death in this cave. Or we can kill Hazak. Still simple, yes? Good. Now, untie my bonds so we can look for the key to Hazak's lair. Swish/poke, done.
You don't have the will for this, but I do, cub.
After helping Kari take down Hazak, the Vestige can talk to Kari's mother and learn the truth of what was going on, and receives a unique item, Hazak's hauberk.
What have you done? And you have done what I could not. My husband now rests with the ancestors, free of the skooma enslaving him. When Hazak embraced skooma with more affection than he did with me, I gave him every chance to claw his way back. But skooma peddlers are slavers of the mind itself. When Hazak turned his addiction into enterprise, there was no return. Poisoned arrows to stun, a blade to finish. I spoke to each as they lay frozen on the dock, before adding crescent moons to their throats. These unclawed shaveskins had it coming for pulling Kari's father into their fold. I noted the ardor of the moons within you and sent you to aid Kari. That is help, yes? But I would know. How did my son fare against Hazak? Did he fight bravely as he was taught? Then Kari learns to stand with allies rather than on his own. He shows me he is ready. With time and training, he will honor his ancestors. Agir Trajijazeri. We justly take by force. At Two Moons Dance, we study the thin line between justice and vengeance. We train so we will always know the difference. Enjoy your life, worker. You never know when those you love can slip away. Kari, you did what Mother could not.
I did what I knew to be right, to restore our family's honor.
You've proven worthy of our name. Do you understand?
Yes, Mother. I'll dance beneath the two moons, as you've taught me.
Then we must complete your training.
Dark knowledge where the vestige is worn by a spirit.
Your chance for untold prosperity comes with Dominion rule.
Heed my words. You endanger more than your life should you approach. A foolish spirit. My ambition brought me low, but I won't allow it to happen to another. The book before you bears a terrible curse, as do two others. You can hear it call to you, yes? But how? Are you strong enough to resist their call? Could you bring them to the shrine and finish what I did not? Heed my words. The forbidden knowledge within those books isn't for this world. They must be destroyed. The curse upon each tome is designed to feed souls to oblivion. But if you are able to resist their pull, you can collect the tomes and bring them to the shrine for their destruction. On the shores of Khenarthi's Roost, beyond the town of Mistral, it is lit by an ever-burning flame. Should you collect all the tomes, bring them to the shrine without delay. No matter how strong you believe you are, I fear the tomes are stronger.
After picking up each book, the vestige is shown what happens to the previous owners.
This book had best be worth the price. What? What is that? Wait! I only wanted to make something beautiful.
Whew! Harder than expected. Let's see if it was worth it.
Now you die.
Not now, not ever.
Finally, Beza Joe will find this fabled brush. What? What is this? Please, no. This one will stop looking.
After arriving at the site, the vestige meets a Khajiit in search of the books.
Pain lies ahead. Turn back, Master. This is not the place for us.
This one does not understand. This shrine is supposed to be lit with an ever-burning flame. Perhaps Shehiradaro has thrown good money after bad. A simple Khajiit, doing what she can to survive. Sehirodaro came to this shrine for guidance. It said the flame gives visions to those who seek it. Answers to unasked questions. Mysteries defined by the stars themselves. And if Sehirodaro makes some gold along the way, all the better. This shrine is key to all of these things. It's a shrine to Hermes Mora, Daedric Prince of Knowledge. They say if you stare into the fire, all will be revealed.
But without the ever-burning flame, there is no way to find the lost books. Tomes, lost to the ages. They're full of secrets from an earlier time. A connection to our past, and a bridge to our future. It doesn't matter what lies the spirit told. Sehiradaro will find those books. While searching for the shrine, a spirit appeared to me and warned me away. Don't you see? Hermes Mora rewards the pursuit of knowledge. The spirit is a test to keep lazy seekers away. That's her. It's the lying spirit.
Don't listen to these fools' words. The forbidden tomes must be destroyed. Place them in the shrine's flame, quickly! What? That isn't possible. No matter. I'll rekindle the shrine's fire with my own essence, but you must promise to destroy them. You saw what happens to those who possess the tomes. Then that is a blessing. Once the books begin calling to you, there is little time before they ensnare you completely. Burn the books. Don't let their burden destroy you.
The vestige can either choose to give them the books or burn them, and after earns the unique item, Inducer Scalpel.
You've done it. The tomes are gone. I can't hear them anymore. I'm certain. But no one else shall fall into their trap. You managed what I could not. But it is done, which is all that matters.
The root of the problem, where the vestige finds a Bosmer trying to heal a tree.
Windcatcher plantation depends on the great tree, yet it sickens before my eyes. Our fates are like leaves in its branches. Do you see that strange miasma? It appeared on the great tree after the hurricane, like a sickness. I've done what I can, but I fear it's not enough. There's a cave directly beneath us. I called a spirit there to heal the great tree's roots, but it hasn't returned. Would you see what holds the spirit back? And aid it if you can. I can feel the spirit's frustration. It wants to help the great tree, but something prevents it. Coming. The spirit is old and powerful. It seeks to move from root to root, aiding the great tree as it's able. But it's a healing spirit of singular purpose. It doesn't know how to defend itself. I'm uncertain. If so, the spirit must be protected from harm while it heals the great tree's roots. It knows what it must do. The great tree shields Windcatcher plantation from the winter winds and keeps our settlement shaded from the heat of the summer. Its story entwines with ours. When the wind goddess Khenarthi first traveled across the heavens, legends say she grew tired and rested in the branches of a small sapling before resuming her journey. That sapling became the great tree, and gave Windcatcher plantation its name.
Heading under the tree, the vestige finds an Aldmeri under the cave to the tree and learns the issue.
Been a Quama master for over a decade. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm up to my neck in droppings, and I sure could use a hand getting out. Ever try piloting a ship through a hurricane while your entire cargo of Quama eggs hatch and go bug nuts? Been there. Can't recommend it. After we wrecked, they made a Quama line toward this cave. I came after them, but they're a bit distracted. They always get surly after hatching, but these Quama are downright unsociable. I tried to stop them from chewing on those huge roots. They objected. Bumped into a fine-looking tree trunk on my way out. Thought I was done for, but it kept walking. Oh? Quama didn't take to it, whatever it was. I heard them munching on it, same as those roots. The little one seems scared of it. If you can help the pretty tree trunk do what it needs to do, I bet they'll head back this way. If they'd stop eating those giant roots, they might get better. But I don't blame you if you have to put down a few to save the rest. Just be careful. Nothing fiercer than a crazed Quama. Not even my sister-in-law.
The vestige then follows the tree guardian and protects it while it heals the tree. After returning to Spinner Biniath, the vestige is given the unique item, Root Splitter.
Praise Ifrei. The miasma has cleared. Yet I sense this begins a new chapter for the great tree. Though the Kwama will soon learn. Praise Ifrei. The miasma has cleared. Yet I sense this begins a new chapter for the great tree. Though the creatures gorge themselves upon its roots, this was a passing instinct. They can be taught to strengthen the great tree. The Kwama will soon learn the cave is their nest and treat the spirit as their queen. Together, they'll guard the cave against intruders who seek to harm the great tree. A new story can frighten any creature, until it realizes its role within.
A pinch of sugar where the vestige finds the Khajiit complaining.
First the hurricane, then rats from the sea. What next, flying mud crabs? Surrender's mercy, we need more time before the inspection. Dominion inspectors. Headwoman Harani requested their aid to stop smugglers. We're honest farmers with good customers. Our moon sugar is used to spice food, not to brew skooma. When the inspectors learn we can't protect our fields, we're finished. Hairy, squirmy, squeaky little rats. They've infested the plantation since the storm. The inspectors will ask, if we can't protect our fields from those dung-dropping sugar eaters, how can we protect them from skooma-brewing thieves? Find out why Cindertail's Sench tigers roll on their backs instead of filling their bellies with rat. Does one expect to keep his job if the inspectors find vermin in our fields? At best, the inspectors will recommend our moon sugar be confiscated. To the east, the plantation burns. Was it due to the inspector's recommendations? Who can say? Either way, Mistral will weep for our passing. With laughing moons gone, skooma will flow through the streets. When moon sugar runs dry, people turn to smugglers. With smugglers comes skooma. But the inspectors aren't from here. If we tell them, they will not listen. Find out why Cindertail's Sench tigers roll on their backs instead of filling their bellies with rat. Does one expect to keep his job if the inspectors find vermin in our fields?
Heading to Cindertail, he is found scolding his Sench tigers.
Ferocious killers? Pah! Unclawed blankets, more like. Want to buy a carpet? How about 3? They aren't good for much else. Yes, Afe, even you. Do not eat the rats, this one says. Do they listen? No! Stupid Sench. Lazy Sench. They already did. That's the problem. Moon sugar makes you sleepy if you eat too much. Rats eat moon sugar, Sench eat rats, and then lazy Sench. Especially you, Gobani. Not with sugar bellies. These useless Sench could only kill a rat if they fell upon it. From a great height. Go inside, lock the doors, wait until they leave? No. Let this one think. Without Sench hunters, what could... Thunderbugs. No, it would never work. Thunderbugs nest nearby. They defend their delicious eggs from anyone who'd make a meal of them, yes? If you grabbed an armload of eggs... Undoubtedly, but they'd hesitate to harm the eggs once you possess them. Smash an egg into each rat nest, and the Thunderbug's electric frenzy kills the rats before the inspectors arrive. You're sturdy, yes? A little shot won't stop you. Wonderful! Save some eggs for Cindertail, yes? They are so very tasty.
After finding Thunderbug eggs, the vestige throws them in each rat nest, then heads back to Jaranda Ra and is given the unique item Rat Splatter.
Little time for talk.
There's no question, Jarundara.
Your specialist certainly showed the vermin their place.
Of course, Inspector. We could expect nothing less of our specialists.
Halderil, make a note. Unorthodox methods, but vermin-free.
Sir.
Clever luring thunderbugs out of their mounds like that. A scheme worthy of Bandar himself. They're all gone then? Excellent. Our gracious Inspector has been most patient with us. Perhaps witnessing your ingenuity will affect his findings. Joan and Joe dance kindly with you, Walker. Whatever the findings of our esteemed Inspector, we are in your debt.
And finally, family business, where the vestige finds a Khajiit watching over her father.
Hush, father. I won't leave your side.
Father burns in the fire. My brother missing. Srendar, show mercy! Our moon sugar storehouse has caught fire. Father thought to save our livelihood. He ran inside, and the burns weren't bad, but the sweet smoke ruined his lungs. Without powerful medicine, he won't last the day. Father tried to save our alchemical tools. If they survive the fire, I could trade them for medicine. Please, it's all I can do to keep my father alive. This one begs you to salvage the tools from our storehouses. Please return quickly with the tools. If I can't trade them for medicine, this one's father will die.
Heading into the farm, the vestige runs into an Altmer named Officer Lauren.
I haven't seen you around the island before. In the name of Thalmor, what's your business here? Ah, the shipwreck. Worst hurricane I've seen in decades. If you're headed through this plantation, watch your step. Last night some buildings caught fire. Usually the skeevers keep to themselves, but they're acting up something fierce. I should get back to our inspection. If you see anything suspicious, it's your duty to let us know. Fires don't start themselves.
Checking each building, the vestige can find the brothers Zab and Ma.
Shoo! Get off my family's land. If you plan to loot my family's plantation, I will give you such a thrashing. Too late, sugar thief. The fire destroyed every last calcinator. Wait, I expected my sister to check on the tools herself. Why did she send a stranger? You lie! My father left yesterday to trade in Mistral, didn't he? Oh no. I set the fires to destroy those damn tools, not to hurt anyone. Not to hurt my father. We lost our last harvest to the Thunderbugs, despite the debt. Asbira bought alchemical tools to improve our crop, she said. But last week, I caught her brewing skooma. That vile drug destroys lives. When she refused to stop, I knew what must be done. My sister despises sand under her claws, but recently I saw her digging out on the beach. Why else would she be out there, if not to bury skooma? I should go to my father. Would you look for any skooma hidden on the beach? My sister placed colorful seashells near whatever she buried. I bet there is a sack full of skooma vials next to them. I'll be with my father. If you find anything, bring it back to me. I should really go check on my father.
Walking on the beach, the vestige digs up a bag of skooma and brings it back, finding the family being interrogated by Officer Lauren.
I asked around. Nobody from the shipwreck remembers seeing you before Eagle Strand. No more lies. You're running skooma, aren't you? That farmer shook himself to death. You think I don't recognize a skooma overdose when I see one? That I don't know why skeevers are frothing at the mouth? I should arrest the lot of you. Buying time to get your story straight. Go ahead, I'll be right over here. One warning, my ears are as sharp as my dagger. I'll prove it to you if you even try to whisper.
The vested can choose to tell her the truth or lie and keep the family safe.
He's dead. And now this Dominion outsider wants to throw me in prison. They say they found evidence of skooma in the storehouses, but that is impossible. Then Officer Lauren found nothing in the storehouses but suspicion. She's bluffing. What will you tell her? What's right is allowing us to recover from tragedy, not suffer more of it. Please make this right.
All right, you've had enough time. Where's the skooma? Last chance. If someone doesn't tell me where the skooma is, you'll all face the consequences. Yes, well, it's my job to ask questions. Perhaps moon sugar fumes can cause the skooma shakes. Maybe I see skooma where it isn't, sometimes. I'll leave them to their grief. Soldier, look after these people. Once they're settled, report back to Mistral.
Thank you. Serendar himself would commend your actions. Give me the skooma so I can destroy it. I want to finish what I started. Thank you. I'll destroy this immediately. My sister is all I have left. We'll learn to forgive each other. We have to, if we are going to rebuild. This poison causes nothing but pain.
There are 2 achievements to get on Khenarthi's Roost. Skooma Watch by stopping Hazak and stopping the Speckled Shell. And Khenarthi's Roost Angler by fishing up a rare Pyanodian ray. Hey there, thanks for watching this episode of ESO Zone Guide. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you again next time.